সুপ্রিয় দর্শক সবাইকে স্বাগত জানাচ্ছি টিভি অ্যানালিসিস অনুষ্ঠানে। আমি হাবিব রহমান আছি আপনাদের সাথে। যারা বাসায় বসে টোটাল কেবল সার্ভিসের মাধ্যমে সরাসরি দেখছেন স্বাগত জানাচ্ছি তাদেরকে, যারা ফেসবুক লাইভে দেখছেন স্বাগত আপনাদেরকেও, এবং যারা পরবর্তীতে ইউটিউবে দেখবেন স্বাগত জানিয়ে রাখছি আপনাদেরকেও। আজকের অনুষ্ঠানটি বেশ কয়েকটি তথ্য আমি আপনাদের কাছে তুলে ধরবো। EIDL লোন ফরগিভনেস আপডেট, যেটি গতবার আমরা আলোচনা করেছিলাম, গতবার বলতে গত মাসে ইন দ্য বিগিনিং অফ দ্য সেপ্টেম্বর মেবি, সেটি নিয়ে আলোচনা থাকবে। মর্টগেজ রেট চেঞ্জ, তার এফেক্ট এবং আপনার করণীয় কি। 30 ইয়ার ফিক্সড মর্টগেজ রেটের কথা বলছি আমরা। ইনফ্লেশনের কথা বলবো আমরা কিছুটা, কারণ এটির সাথে সামঞ্জস্য আছে। একজন মর্টগেজ ব্রোকার আপনি নেবেন, why would you pick him, this mortgage broker, and how do you know, কিভাবে আপনি জানবেন this is the right broker for you, সেটির ব্যাপারে বিস্তারিত তথ্য জানাবো। তার কারণ হচ্ছে আমাদেরকে অনেকেই যোগাযোগ করছেন যে তার মর্টগেজ ব্রোকারের কারণে উনি he is losing money or she is losing money and bad deal পেয়েছেন। ওকে, একই সাথে লেন্ডার, মর্টগেজ লেন্ডার যিনি আছেন, যিনি লোন অ্যাপ্রুভ করছেন, লোন অফিসারও হতে পারেন, তার ব্যাপারে বেশ কিছু তথ্য আমরা তুলে ধরবো এবং কয়েকটি এক্সাম্পল তুলে ধরবো যে হাউ ইউ সাফার, কীভাবে আপনি সাফার করছেন, আপনি ঠকছেন, দে ডিসিভিং ইউ, এটির বেশ কয়েকটি এক্সাম্পল উইল ব্রিং ইট আপ। ক্লোজিং কস্ট কি, what is the closing cost and what should be in the closing cost, and কেন এটি আপনার জানা খুব জরুরি, কারণ এই ক্লোজিং কস্টের নামে অনেক পয়সা আপনার কাছ থেকে, বেশ ভালো পরিমাণ অর্থ নিয়ে যাওয়া হচ্ছে। এবং এটির সমাধান কি, সমাধানটা the fix, how do you fix this issue, all these things, এই সব কয়টি জিনিস আজকে থাকবে। এই all these things we're going to discuss, and I have invited today Motazedi, CPA, বেশ কয়েকবার you have seen this many times, we have done programs. Mike, welcome.
Thank you so much.
It's time again to run through almost the similar thing,
I know,
but in a different way.
exactly. No, I know.
Okay, so today I want you to break down quite a few things, but we're going to go in terms of the way I just brought it.
Okay.
Last episode,
yes,
we brought in a topic, the EIDL update.
Correct.
We heard some from you. I would like you to revisit that.
Of course.
Plus the update, because I think a lot of people had questions. Many people also contacted you.
Yes, they did.
So let's just start from there.
Yeah, let me just give everyone the update on what's going on with this. As I said on our last show, right, I'm working with two companies right now. We're very, very, very close to getting a type of EIDL, basically a compromise, right? But I want to be very specific on this. It's not done yet. I've been working for a long time trying to get these two done. So once I have officially, successfully completed those two, then I'll be able to work with everybody else. But again, there's a lot of specifics going into this. So it's not like a normal program where you apply for, say, a grant or even the original IDL, and you're just going to be getting it because you go step by step. This is more of a compromise with the SBA.
Okay, that's good. So we're going to have updates soon, and then we'll go from there.
Correct. Once I have it signed off and it's successful, then we will revisit and do everybody else's.
Okay.
And see who fits into the box.
Let me just translate this,
sure,
so that everybody understands.
Great.
আপনারা যারা দেখছেন EIDL লোন মওকুফের একটি উপায় নিয়ে কাজ করছেন মাইকেল মুতাজদি, এটি এখনো কনফার্ম হয়নি। যেই মুহূর্তে এটি উনি কনফার্ম করে ফেলতে পারবেন আমরা আপনাদেরকে জানাবো, এবং অনেকেই এই সুযোগটি নিতে পারেন। দেয়ার আর রিকোয়ারমেন্টস, সেটি ফুলফিল করতে হবে, বাট দিস ইজ আ ভেরি ভেরি গুড নিউজ, অত্যন্ত ভালো খবর সবার জন্য যারা দেখছেন। At the same time, I mean, there are some misunderstanding about this and this EIDL updates.
Correct.
And there are a lot of misleading information in the market. Could you tell me a little bit about that before we move on?
Yeah, sure. It's not a. If you look on the SBA website, you're going to say, okay, this loan is not forgivable.
Of course.
So forgiveness is not the correct, I guess, term we should be using.
Yeah. So
we should be using compromise.
Compromise.
Okay.
So it's not a
they
forgiveness.
Want to see where you spent your money. You know, it's not like, hey, I decided to go in Robinhood.
Right.
I lost my shirt. Can I not pay it back? Okay. Answer is, of course, you still have to pay it back.
All right. So one example you gave that I borrowed the money, and then I said,
you didn't follow the SBA guidance.
And then I didn't follow it. I put that money into Robinhood.
Right.
That's one. Or I bought a house in Buffalo.
All not what you're supposed to be doing. You're trying to tell SBA, hey, listen, I really tried. I really tried.
But what if you were a Uber driver and you took a loan and you bought a car and you are using it
That's exactly what I'm trying to do.
Explain that a little bit so that everybody understands.
Say I bought a medallion. Let's do that. I bought a medallion, right? I'm Uber driver, bought a medallion.
Right.
I thought I was going to, do really well with it. And guess what? We all know what's going on with medallion prices, right?
Yeah,
went from like 120 right back to 80K right now.
Of course.
Right? So there are costs involved. You did the right thing. And look, it didn't work out. So hey, listen, I decided not to leave the driving business. I don't drive Yellow. I don't drive Uber. I don't drive Lyft. I decided to get a job in, let's just say, a warehouse. Well, I'm not in the business anymore.
Of course.
Right? So, but I tried.
Right.
That's an example. That's something we can work with.
Okay. So
I followed the SBA. I tried. I decided to try to do something I wasn't supposed to do.
Right.
Can I get it?
So আপনারা যারা EIDL লোন পেয়েছেন, আপনি লোনটি নিয়েছেন, আপনি উবার ড্রাইভার অথবা আপনি ট্যাক্সি ড্রাইভার। সো ইফ ইউর উবার ড্রাইভার, আপনি গাড়ি ছিল আপনার ভাঙাচোরা, আপনি আরেকটি নতুন গাড়ি নিয়েছেন, ব্যবসাটি করছেন, আপনার পক্ষে ফর ইউ ইটস পসিবল টু গেট দ্যাট compromise. It's not a compromise. If you are a yellow cab driver, আপনি medallion কিনেছেন, was 125,000, now it's 80,000. You're losing money, you lost money already. You will qualify. এরকম যারা লোন নিয়েছেন এবং আপনার ব্যবসায় দিয়েছেন, ব্যবসাটা হয়নি, মার গেছে টাকাটি, অর্থটি, যে লোনটি নিয়েছিলেন, আপনার জন্য সুসংবাদ অপেক্ষা করছে. You have to wait. And we will give you the update.
We'll definitely give you the update. Look, it's a direct negotiating with the SBA. It's not a form.
Okay. So
it's
that's
that
one
simple.
thing. Okay. Takes time, time-consuming.
Very time.
Takes a lot of work. And
once we have the update, next time I come on, I will definitely let everyone know.
Okay, that's one thing. And we talked about briefly, I just want you to touch briefly that anybody who's going through hardship, they can knock down 10% of the payment up to, not knock down 10%, but they can reduce their payment up to 10%.
They are going to reduce their payment to 10%.
To 10%, not up to 10%.
Right, to 10%. Or
Explain that a little bit for
So basically, say let's just make it easy, right? $1,000 payment because I took $200,000 for that.
Right.
And instead of making a $1,000 payment for for an entire year, you're making $100 a month.
Right.
But the interest on that loan is still getting compounded.
Of course.
It's you're kicking the can down the road.
Yeah.
You're not
and hoping for the best.
Exactly. Exactly. That's why I encourage everyone to do it because it's at 3.75%. Where are you ever going to find? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, instead of taking a 9% loan, I have a loan that is 3% interest rate. I'll push it down as much possible. দর্শক আপনারা যারা দেখছেন 9% লোন রাইট নাও আপনি এসবিআই থেকে নিলেন, কিন্তু আপনি লোনটি দিয়েছিলেন যখন 3%, 3.75%, এই লোনটি আপনার লং টার্ম থাকলে কিছু যায় আসে না, যতদূর পুশ করতে পারেন ততদিন। আপনি যদি $1 লাখ লোন থাকেন, মেক বিলিভ আপনি $500 পে করছেন, এটি আপনি $50, $100 নামিয়ে আনতে পারেন, সম্ভব এখন। What is it called, the program? It's a hardship program? What is it?
Hardship.
Hardship program.
Hardship accommodation.
So, I just wanted to run this again.
Correct, but I wanted to know, because I've also, a lot of people come to my office asking, is the interest part being forgiven?
No. Interest is not. You're just pushing it.
You're just pushing it down the road, and if you're using it to pay off, say, credit cards that are, say, 20% interest rates, you're doing the right thing.
Okay.
I encourage that.
All right. So now to our favorite part, okay? Rate changes. We know the interest rate went down 50 basis points.
That's correct.
Everybody was hoping and praying for it. It finally happened. And market was happy about it. Mortgage rate went down. There are many questions that are unanswered. The one question, rate went down. Should I buy a house now if I am a prospective buyer? If I'm a refinancing, should I wait or do it now? Also, people are hearing that rates are going down maybe even further, and something has changed today, later, that you just told me a few minutes ago. So let's address those two parts. The rate changes, prospective buyers, refinancers.
Okay, so and they're all going to be different scenarios, basically.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so yes, the rates go down, absolutely. It was really great for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, not just for you guys buying a house, refinancing, but also for the economy itself. And that's actually why I mentioned this.
Yes.
Okay? So if I'm a buyer right now, right, is it time to buy a house? Sure. Should I wait that maybe the rate may go down a little bit more? Yeah. You can't time the market. If you could,
that's what I say.
You'd be a billionaire.
You can't time the market.
You'd be a billionaire.
And don't do it. Don't
even try to time it.
Okay.
Okay, so if you need to buy a house, buy it now and start looking. Refinancers, this is where I'm going to say do not do it yet. Because we do know next year the rates are going to be lower than what they are today.
Right,
because look, you already bought your house, so you don't care what the real estate market does.
Yeah.
Right? You just care about your payment. You're payment sensitive.
Right.
You're nothing else.
Right.
Right? So why would you refinance now just to refinance again next year? The only people making money are the banks.
As we heard Jerome Powell, the Fed's chairman, he was saying 2 more rate cuts this year, potentially, tentatively.
If you're wondering, should I get my COVID shot? Think about other people. Set a date to get your COVID shot and RSV if eligible. Learn more at nj.gov/health/vaccines.
There is more coming next year. The entire year, they're projecting 1%, 100% basis point. He went farther than that. He said, rate cut will continue in 2026 too, right? So the people are already thinking, so refinancer, you already answered. You need to wait.
You need to wait.
Till next
you can
year.
try to time the best of the market on a refi.
Prospective buyers.
Because
you
even if
already
you're
said.
off by a little bit, it's not going to hurt you that much.
Right. I want you to tell me a little bit about these things. When people refinancing, what they should be preparing for, what are the requirements, and how does the rate actually come down if you're well prepared?
So look, it's just like when you would have bought a house. You had to have all your docs in order, right? Tax returns, once again, my friends, okay? The bank statements, if we went that route. Whichever we did and how we did it, we're going to be doing it again. So you've got to be very, very prepared.
As if you're buying a
But
new
now
house.
I'm going to bring one other thing up. Because I've been seeing and I've been really breaching this subject.
And you're fuming.
Very much. So one thing you got to look at is, if you're buying a house now you're doing a mortgage. We're finally seeing the 4% in play.
4%?
Yeah,
in play down the road?
No, now.
Now?
We're seeing it. We never saw it before. We said, get the lowest rate I can get you is, say, a 5, right? But now I'm seeing like the 4.6 is actually on the screen.
4.6.
Right? Why would you pay twice to do a refi when you could do it right now for 30 years?
Yeah.
This is where I'll tell you it pays to buy points if you know you're going to refinance here. Why would you pay twice?
What would be your timeline, so to speak?
My timeline is this. If I'm buying a house now and say they cost me an additional just $10,000, but I'm getting like a 4.5, 4.6, that's worth doing.
Today?
Today.
So if I were a prospective
Because
home buyer,
next year you're going to have to refinance, right? Because say you're at a 5.5 today. You know if the States goes to a 4.5,
Correct.
you know you're going to have to refinance.
Right.
Well, guess what? It's going to cost more than $10,000 to do that.
of course. So if I was a
So I do it now.
If I was buying a house tomorrow, you would suggest me to do it, and if my paperwork is in
I'll give you
shape.
I'll give you guys a good example. Everybody a good
Give me
example.
an example. And
My
perspective.
tax file is super high this year because, hey, I need to buy this house.
Of course.
Right? Paying government quite a bit of money, right?
Yeah.
Right? Why wouldn't I just pay? If I'm already paying, I might as well pay a little bit more instead of having to do it twice.
In terms of the total cost of the house, you meant?
Yeah, so basically my tax file, now say my taxes this year are $20,000, right?
Right.
They're usually not zero, right?
Yeah.
Well, if I have to do it again next year, now I'm
Then you
paying
have to readjust.
$40,000.
Yes.
But I'm offering you that for $10,000.
Okay.
Why wouldn't I do that?
Right. And your interest rate would be somewhere in the ballpark,
The high fours, yes.
high fours. Let's say 4.8, 4.9,
correct.
under 5.
Oh, way under 5.
Way under 5. I need to break this down. I need to break this down. Okay, so আপনারা যারা prospective home buyer আছেন, আমি জানি আমার সাথে অনেকে যোগাযোগ করেছেন, নাম বলবো না, অনেকে যোগাযোগ করেছেন। আপনার পেপারওয়ার্ক যদি ঠিক থাকে, আপনি যদি প্রস্তুত থাকেন, মাইকেল মোতাজিদি যেটি বলছেন যে আপনার পক্ষে under 5% কমে পাওয়া উচিত মর্টগেজ রেট, অ্যান্ড দিস ইজ এই কারণে আমরা এই প্রোগ্রামটি করে থাকি। দিস ইজ দ্য রিজন আই ডু দিস প্রোগ্রাম, স্পেশালি উইথ ভেরি এক্সপিরিয়েন্স সিপিএস, স্পেশালি। ওকে, সো মাইকেল মোতাজিদি বলছেন আপনার পেপার ওয়ার্ক যদি ঠিক মতো থাকে, আপনার ইনকাম লেভেল যদি থাকে, ইয়োর ট্যাক্স ফাইলিং ইজ রাইট, আপনি 4.8, 4.9 এই ব্যাড মার্কেটেও ইউ ক্যান গেট দ্যাট ইন্টারেস্ট রেট, 4.8, 4.9.
Of course.
Yeah. So that brings me to the other question. Actually, you're leading me to the other question. Inflation. Talk about this, the housing inflation part of it.
Well, look. Housing is basically almost inflation-proof, basically.
Yeah, in a way.
It goes up, your house goes up, right?
Yeah.
All that stuff happens right now. But the reason being with why I keep pushing you guys, not like I usually say, hey, never buy points, ever. But in this situation, I do because, hey, listen, I'm a CPA. I know what the taxes look like. I know how much you guys are paying.
Yeah.
There's no point in paying 4 times the amount, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay, good.
So that's why I've been pushing you guys about that. I've already done this with one of my clients. I was just locked their loan at in the fours.
Yeah. The reason Michael is saying this way, and I'm laughing, because we do talk about these things. আমরা এই কথাগুলো বলে থাকি, and we know, আমরা জানি, আপনারাও জানেন, you know too, that আপনাদেরকে নিয়ে অনেক গেম খেলা হচ্ছে, অনেক রিয়েল এস্টেট ব্রোকার আছেন, অনেক লোন অফিসার আছেন। ইন দিস কমিউনিটি, ইন বাংলাদেশি কমিউনিটি, আই এম রিয়েলি ফ্রাস্ট্রেটেড, কারণ আপনারা অনেকে ভয় পান কাগজপত্র ঠিক না করার জন্য, অথবা তাদেরকে বলেন যে আমার ট্যাক্স ডকুমেন্টে ঠিক নেই, এর সুযোগ নিয়ে আপনারা ঠকেন। এই প্রসঙ্গটি আসবে। I'm going to talk about these things a little later. Okay, so that part is inflation.
Correct.
Yes.
And with inflation, it's not even that. You got to look at also, everyone's saying, okay, what's going to happen with housing prices? That's why I'm telling you guys to do it now. If you're looking for a house, do it now.
Yeah, it's going to go only up.
We don't know where it's going to go. We just don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I thought, hey, a year ago it was going to come down a little bit.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm telling you, hey, listen, the rates are down. Basically, it's flatlining right now.
Correct.
Take advantage of it. Lower your payment, and do what you got to do with that.
So you are suggesting this is a good time to buy a house. You take the lower interest rate, take the lower payment, and just go for it.
Just go for it. You're ready. You wanted to buy this house.
I was saying the same thing today. I hosted the Views program. I was saying, if you're ready, and if you think you're going to live in this house and it's going to be your primary residence, do it.
Right. Look, most people move every 7 years, but we know with our community that's not what happens. They stay forever.
Correct.
So take advantage of it and know where you're going to go.
It's not true for us.
Well, how last time you sold?
Okay, that brings me to another question. We talked about this many times, but really did not break it down for our audiences. Choose your mortgage broker wisely.
Yes.
Why and how to choose one. This why should be short, because you are deceived and you are paying more than what you should be, and you're paying in a lot of ways, money, percentage-wise, a lot of ways. Right?
Yeah, I'll give you guys multiple examples.
Okay.
I'll give you 2 examples just from this week. It's the same example twice.
Sure.
Person comes into my office. They're just showing me their documents. I said, why are they at 6.375? I have the same bank, right? I locked theirs at 5.5. I saved the person $12,000.
Okay. I'm going to stop you there because you need to continue there.
Okay.
Michael Motazedi এখন যেটি বললেন, তার কাছে একজন এসেছে, রিয়েল এক্সাম্পল, তার অফিসে একজন আসলেন, সেম ব্যাংকে, যে ব্যাংকে থেকে তারা লোনটি অ্যাপ্লাই করেছেন, তাদের রেট দেওয়া হয়েছে 6. What was it?
It was like 6.3.
6.3. মাইকেল মোতাজিদি বলছেন, আমি জানি না এই ব্যাংকে আমি আপনার জন্য অ্যাপ্লাই করলে এটা এখন 5.5 এ পাবেন, আমি জানি না আপনাকে কেন 6.3 দেওয়া হলো। Why was it? What
It's
was
simple.
the case?
It's real simple. The mortgage broker wanted to make more money.
Okay,
so it costed this person almost, in reality, $300,000 on the life of the loan, right?
Yes.
Just because somebody wanted to make an extra a few $1,000s.
Right.
That's how sad it is.
So the mortgage broker wanted to make a few $1,000s more, and it will end up costing the buyer more than $300,000 over the period of the loan.
Correct.
Which is 30-year fix.
Correct. So the broker was saying, hey, listen, you could pay $12,000. I'll give you the 5.5.
Right.
Right. Which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right. Or you could take the 6.3, which doesn't make sense either way.
Right.
So I literally went to the same bank, relocked the loan, and now the person's at 5.5.
Wonderful.
And I did twice this week.
That's why choosing the right mortgage broker is important. Do you think it's
This is all about greed.
It's about, we know that, but what are the options for a person to double check? Because sometimes I hear from the people who buy a house that I was about to go to a second person, but my mortgage broker told me, if you go there, you come back to me, and or maybe you go to him, it's going to be even higher rate. I am giving you the best person. So how do you protect against this kind of thing?
I hear it all the time.
Yes,
look, you got a couple problems going on. One problem is it's your real estate broker that's guiding you the wrong way. And saying, oh, use my friend, he's really good. No, because something else is going on.
Of course.
Right?
He's a good friend for money.
Right. But that's one. The other one is, how do you know you're getting the greatest rate and you're, everything? It's all in this closing cost, right? And you should be at least shopping at 3 places and say, hey, listen, just send me an estimate. How many points am I paying? If I'm paying no points, which I suggest, that's how you do it. Apples for apples.
Apples for apples, okay.
That's what it is.
I'm going to go to a different segment. There are 2 questions. Fahim Hussein asked for a question. How much investment loan rate? I think he meant to say, what is the mortgage interest rate, loan interest rate right now?
For on the investment side?
let's talk about investment side. Let's talk about the house.
So when
real
we're
estate.
talking about the house, like, look, if you went to go buy a house and they tell you anything even close to 6%, walk out the door. It's that simple because there's no way those are the rates.
Okay.
For investment, it's going to be higher. Always ballpark, maybe half a point, maybe
Half a point, okay.
maybe 75 bips.
Right. Fahim Hussain, আপনি কিন্তু আমাদেরকে কল করতে পারেন, যেখানে স্ক্রিন নাম্বারটি দেখছেন। আপনি মাইকেল মোতাজেদির কাছে যেতে পারেন, আপনি তার নাম্বারটি চাইছেন, জাস্ট গুগল ইট, মাইকেল মোতাজেদি সিপিআই, আপনি পেয়ে যাবেন নাম্বারটি। Okay. Another question is okay. I will take another question. I have very important discussion about mortgage lender and then closing cost.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Right. So we're going to go into that, but we have to take a break now.
Okay, sure.
But I'm going to take one question from a live caller.
Sure.
So let's do that. Then we're going to go to break.
Okay.
কে আছেন আমাদের সাথে?
হ্যালো, আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
ওয়ালাইকুম সালাম, শুনছি, বলুন।
আচ্ছা, আমার একটা প্রশ্ন ছিল, আমি এই মুহূর্তে বাড়ি কিনতে চাচ্ছি, তো সেই ক্ষেত্রে যে যিনি উপস্থাপক আছেন ওনার কাছে কি কোনো হেল্প পাওয়া যাবে পার্সোনালি, মানে ওনার অফিসে যে কোনো হেল্প করা যাবে, ডিসকাস করা যাবে? আমার
অবশ্যই, উনি একজন অভিজ্ঞ সিপিএ। এই বিরতিতে উনার অ্যাড চলবে, আপনি দেখে নেবেন। আমি আশা করছি আপনি লাইভ দেখছেন বাসায়। ওকে, আপনি যিনি এখন কল করেছিলেন, আপনি অবশ্যই তার কাছে যেতে পারেন। ইউ ক্যান ডেফিনেটলি গো টু মাইকেল মোতাজেদি সিপিএ, হি ইজ অন হিল সাইড। বাট আপনি এখন যারা দেখছেন তার আমরা একটি বিরতি যাব, বিরতিতে তখন আপনার বাকি সমস্ত ইনফরমেশন দেখতে পাবেন। দর্শক, আপনারা যাবেন কোথাও, অত্যন্ত গুরুত্বপূর্ণ আলোচনা বাকি রয়ে গেছে। আমরা নিচ্ছি ছোট্ট একটি বিরতি।
If you're wondering, should I get my COVID shot? Think about other people. Set a date to get your COVID shot and RSV if eligible. Learn more at nj.gov/health/vaccines.
বিরতির পর স্বাগত জানাচ্ছি। আপনারা দেখছেন টিভি অ্যানালিসিস। আমি হাবিব রহমান আছি আপনাদের সাথে, এবং আমার সাথে স্টুডিওতে আছেন মাইকেল মোতাজেদি সিপিএ। We are discussing today very important topics. This will continue for next few weeks. But Fahim came back and he asked differently, same question, he clarified it. He's saying, I own a house and I have a mortgage. Now I have signed in a contract for more, and my mortgage broker is saying that I cannot get a conventional loan. Why?
That's a good question. Why? That doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
If you already have a house, right? If you already have a house, you have to get a conventional loan, right? That's just how it's going to work, because you already paid the 20%.
Of course.
Right? Of course, you can do a conventional, right? But what other loan are they offering you? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. So we need a bit of information from you. We need to know the loan amount. We need to know what's the percentage he's offering and why he's saying that he cannot offer you a conventional loan. It makes no sense. And that's why we are doing this program.
Correct.
This program is because of this misinformation, disinformation. We are trying to fix that. Now, mortgage lender, a horror story. Shouldn't be, but it is, right? I want to bring in an example, and I'm going to hear from you how much you would have made if you were to pass that or approve that loan. I'm a buyer. I went to you. You cooked a story and told me, you with your income, with your this and that, you cannot get a loan. Now, I'm a regular Joe Schmo. I said, Mike, help me. So you cooked some book. You prepared something for me, and I'm very happy. You're a friend of mine now. We're good friends. You're helping me. And then I said, please approve this loan. You could do it. You're the loan officer. You come back and said, listen, it's a lucky day for you, and I locked your loan at 9%. Let's say 8%. Okay, 8%. And make believe the house costs somewhere in $700,000 range. New York City, of course, right? If you were that loan officer, how much money you would have made?
That loan officer made between 40 and
from
50.
From
this transaction, that loan officer made between $40,000 and $50,000.
Okay.
Why? Because the bank is getting 8% when it's 5.
Before you go to why, I need to translate this. Okay, আমি একটি উদাহরণ, একটা এক্সাম্পল চেয়েছিলাম তার কাছে, যে আপনি যদি একজন অসাধু ব্রোকার মর্গেজ অফিসার কাছে যান এবং আপনার একটি বাড়ি কিনছেন যেটি $7 লক্ষ এবং উনি আপনাকে বিভিন্ন কাগজপত্র তৈরি করতে হেল্প করেছেন, আপনি মনে করছেন উনি আপনার বন্ধু, আপনাকে গ্রেট হেল্প করছেন এবং আপনাকে বলছেন যে ওকে আমি লোন আপনাকে অ্যাপ্রুভ করে দিলাম $7 লক্ষ, ধরে নিন এই মর্গেজ রেটটি হয়েছে 8%। আমি মাইকেল মোতাজিদির কাছে এই প্রশ্নটি করেছিলাম, উনি উত্তরে বলেছেন যদি উনি এই লোকটি হতেন তাহলে উনার এখান থেকে আয় হতো $40,000 থেকে $50,000। সো দ্যাটস হাউ মাচ মানি ইউ লস্ট একজন অসাধু লোন অফিসারের কারণে।
Now you have to multiply that by 10. Why do I say 10? Because you got to pay that 8% now for
the remainder of the loan.
That's right.
The
That's what I'm saying to you. This is
loan.
all coming down the greed. It basically is because most of these mortgage brokers, I'm telling you, 95% of these mortgage brokers, their problem is they don't think they're ever going to see you again.
Yeah.
So they just
one time deal.
It's just like going to a used
I
car
need to
dealership.
kill you, and the most can I
Yes,
get?
that's correct.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
That's the problem. So they don't think you are going to come back for the second house or the third house.
No.
Or actually the relationship doesn't end there. If you have a good relationship with you are a loan officer, I'm a buyer. If I have a good relationship, I can go back to you saying I want to refinance. Is it a good time?
Correct.
And I would expect an honest opinion.
That's the problem. That's the problem. The expectation is not there. Like, I'm a CP of this community. I see you guys all the time. So why would I ever do that to somebody? I wouldn't. But most of these guys don't see it that way. They see, hey, let me hit this guy real hard.
Yeah.
I'm never going to see him again.
Yeah, one-time deal.
And that's it. And they somehow sleep at night. I don't know how.
Okay. They do.
I know.
They do. You and I both know. Okay. I have another caller. Let's take that call. কে আছেন আমাদের সাথে?
হ্যালো, আসসালামু আলাইকুম ভাইয়া।
ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম, বলুন।
জি, আমার একটা কোয়েশ্চেন ছিল, যারা কোভিডের লোনটা নিছিল SBA, এটাকে ফরগিভনেস হওয়ার কোনো সম্ভাবনা আছে? কারণ এখানে দেখছি আপনার SBA EIDL লোন ফরগিভনেস।
ইয়েস, আমরা একটু শুধরে নেবেন, ভাষাটা হয়তো ফরগিভনেস না, এটা কম্প্রোমাইজ। আমরা অনুষ্ঠানের শুরুতেই বলেছিলাম, কিন্তু আপনার এই প্রশ্নের উত্তরটি আরেকবার আমরা দেওয়ার চেষ্টা করব। সো হিয়ার এ কল, the SBA EIDL loan, is there a chance for forgiveness? I think he missed the first part of it. If you just
just going to recap.
Yes, please.
Recap real quick with the EIDLs. So yes, I am working with two companies very large that we're trying to finish up. So once I am done with that, then I will work on everybody else's. Okay.
So once again, আপনার প্রশ্নের উত্তরটি হচ্ছে এরকম, মাইকেল মোতাজিদির অফিস এখন দুটি বড় প্রতিষ্ঠানের সাথে কাজ করছে। এটির ফরগিভনেস না, এটি নতুন একটি ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ ব্যবহার করা হচ্ছে, এটিকে বলা হচ্ছে কম্প্রোমাইজ। তো ফরগিভনেস হোক, কম্প্রোমাইজ হোক, ইটস দ্য সেম থিং। ইফ হি ইজ সাকসেসফুল going through this process, তাহলে আপনাদের সবার জন্য একটি বড় সুসংবাদ থাকবে। You will have a big news and we'll have a big update soon.
We are directly negotiating with SBA.
Yes, so we'll see. আপনি আশাহত হবেন না, আপনার আশা আছে এবং আমরা আশা করছি যে এটি শীঘ্রই আমরা এইটা আপডেট আপনারা দিতে পারবো। ওকে, মর্গেজ লেন্ডার হরর স্টোরি part 2.
Okay.
I want you to give me some examples, real life examples, 2 examples that you heard and should not have happened, and I want you to, after that, tell us what are the steps you should take to prevent that happening to you.
All right, I'll give you guys a very good example that's probably this week.
Yes.
So a person comes in and says, my tax file's got to be this high. I was like, no, can't be. The amount of taxes you would owe would be astronomical, right? I'm like, you know what? Let me look and do this loan myself, okay? The taxes were, when I finished, done, was this low. This low, and he got a rate that was half a point lower.
Give me both the numbers. What he told you that his taxes has to be
over $200,000,
so that he qualifies to buy a house. But you said no.
No.
And where did you bring it down to?
I think we owed $6,000.
$6,000. And he's still qualified.
Yes. The real reason why is because I know this person's history. I knew how to rework the loan.
Yeah.
So he qualified.
So it took some time, but you went through that.
I went through that, but it's because I understand my clients, right? I know their families.
Yeah.
I know what we can do and how we can do it, right? Because probably you gave the person this little bit of information, really tiny bit of information, and not the whole story.
Right. That reminds me of something. When I was much younger, I was at one time. Believe me.
I'm sure you were.
Okay. So, in every neighborhood, there were like Pop's Mom's stores, right? And you go there, they know you. You know them, right? You don't see that anymore.
Not that much.
You have Walmarts and Targets and all these things. Those are all gone, right? You don't see those delis anymore, right? I used to go to this place, and I had this crazy guy, Seymour Rudd. Okay, once you struck a conversation with him, you're not going home for an hour. I miss those days, honestly. Why do I say that? Just like back then, you had like stores popping up here, popping up here, popping. You have the real estate brokers are popping up from zoo, and it's like in every street corners. Whether they qualify, don't qualify, it doesn't matter. Why do you think is the case, and how do you avoid going to one of these things?
I mean, look, at the end of the day, it's all about trust, right?
Yeah.
And you have trust, but a lot of times is someone says, oh, my friend told me to use this guy. Well, you don't know that's the whole story, right? Your stories, everybody's different. Everybody's different.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you got to know thy customer. And these guys are like snake oil salesmen, like used car salesmen, where they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I have another customer right here. They just want to get it done. That's not what you want to do. You need somebody who knows your stuff, is going to answer your questions. And look, the successful mortgage brokers know how to think like the underwriters. They know what the underwriter's going to ask for. They know this stuff. So you got to go someone who's qualified and honest. I hate to say it, the last part, honest, is not easy to find in the mortgage industry.
Yeah.
It's really not.
I have somebody, Mahbub Mohammed, and he's saying, he's giving me a salam, and he said, I'm from Massachusetts, Michelle, and can you help? Can he help us? I want to buy a house in Massachusetts. Can you help?
So, unfortunately, I'm not licensed in Massachusetts.
Okay.
I'm licensed in New York.
Right, but do you know anyone who can help?
No, I'm sorry.
Michael Motazedi cannot help you because he's not licensed in Massachusetts. It's funny that you said that. I have business, Springfield, Massachusetts, not far from you, because a lot আমাদের কমিটির অনেকে থাকেন Lynn. So hopefully one day I'll see you. Unfortunately, Mike cannot help you in Massachusetts. I wish that was the case. Ahmed Kokon, he said, congratulations, Habib Bhai and Michael CPA. He's a very good person. May Allah bless him and you and your family. Okay.
Thank you.
I think those are very kind words.
I agree.
Okay, let's. Example number 2.
Okay, so that was one example. It was horrific.
Yeah.
Right. Other examples I've had in my office where someone goes, oh, but I'm already locked at like 6.3. I'm like, I'm going to save you $300 a month. I go, just walk away. If they don't want to walk, they feel bad. You can't feel bad about
guilt.
this. They feel guilty. You should not feel guilty because you're getting robbed, basically. Right? So it doesn't matter. Your real estate broker has zero power. Okay? The only person that has power over that mortgage rate, interest rate, is you, by going to the correct person.
Right. I have a very good question just came in.
Shoot.
Okay? Nandita Deb. Nandita, it's your lucky day, okay? Nandita, she's asking, my home interest rate is 8%. I referred to 8% many times today, okay? So I was not kidding. You might be laughing, but it's true. People are going through this horrible thing. So she said, my home interest rate, loan rate is at 8%. Can I refinance now, or should I wait? That's the question.
Look, you're at 8%, so in my eyes, you want to reduce your payment, okay? You're not going to wait another year paying 8%.
Yeah.
That's just nuts in general.
Nandita, আপনার 8% interest rate is too high. অনেক বেশি দিচ্ছেন। আপনার যত তাড়াতাড়ি সম্ভব আপনার refinance করা উচিত, কারণ আপনার payment is very high. If she refinances today, and let's make believe her paperwork is, let's say you're doing it, right? What would she expect? Just a ballpark number.
Ballpark, probably a 5.5.
5.5. And if that happens, you make believe that she's paying, I would say she's paying $5,000. I'm just guessing, right?
It's like $400 or $500. It could be almost $1,000 difference in payment.
Okay.
Because we don't know what the property taxes are, we know that.
Right. নন্দিতা আপনাকে বলছি, আমি ধরে নিচ্ছি, আমি জানি না এক্স্যাক্টলি কারণ ইনফরমেশনটা আমার কাছে নেই, ধরে নেই যে আপনার মর্টগেজ পেমেন্ট 5,000 দিচ্ছেন।
It depends how we're doing this, right? If we're doing bank statements, obviously going to be a little higher.
Yeah.
If we're going to do it, because it sounds like a quantic mortgage.
Right. I would say, yeah. So আপনার পেমেন্ট ক্ষেত্রভেদে 500 থেকে যে মর্গেজ পেমেন্ট করছেন মাসে, 500 থেকে $1,000 কমতে পারে আপনি যদি এখন রিফাইন্যান্স করেন, এবং আপনার রেট হবে 5.5 along that line, অর্থাৎ 2.5%, close to 2.5%.
Just think about that. Just say on 500. I mean, it's tremendous.
It's huge. Okay.
It's insane.
5 said, but there is a penalty. What penalty you're talking about?
So some of the loans that have gotten.
Yes. We talked about briefly last time.
So if you have a regular, conventional mortgage, there is no prepayment penalties. That's illegal. But if you have like a LLC loan or you have another type of business loan, yes, you could have a 5 or 4 or 3, 2, 1 prepays.
Okay, so that could be somewhere between
Again, as I say, everybody's different.
Right.
Everybody's situation is different. Everyone's friends close the house this way. It could be different from that next person.
Right.
So I have to look at it. I really can't.
Okay, so fine. After information লাগবে আপনাকে নাম্বার দেওয়া হয়েছে আপনি কিন্তু তার call his office and find out your number is there. I need Michael's cell number. Imran Hussain. The number is in the chat. আপনি নিয়ে নেবেন সেখান থেকে call his office, find out more. But you need to give Michael to give you more concrete answer. He needs more details.
Correct.
Okay, so you need to come in person if you want to have more. Aki Chaudhary said, have any chance for 4% mortgage rate to come down to?
I can't answer that. I can't answer that. I wish, and I hope.
But we in the beginning we said it could be 4.7, 4.6.
Yeah, but 4.0 is a very different number.
4.0. I mean, she's asking, is there a possibility?
Of course, there's a possibility. Yes, maybe not this year.
Not this year.
Not this year.
Yeah.
Do I think next year? Yes.
Next year, possible.
Definitely possible.
I think so too. I think so too.
It all depends how the economy goes.
To go back to 3%, I would say no.
I would tell you, I do believe we're going back there.
You're more optimistic than I am.
I'm definitely more optimistic.
Okay. I take that with a grain of salt.
I'm very optimistic at 3%.
Okay. All right.
It's not. Look, it's not this year. It's not this year. It's not next year.
But 2026?
Very possible.
I would say so.
Look,
yes.
it all depends. If the economy crashes, yes, we're going back there because that's how we're going to restart the economy.
Another person said, what is the current mortgage interest rate? 30-year fixed. I think it's 6.12.
What?
The 30-year fixed mortgage rate.
5.5.
5.5. Okay, Fed. If you go to Fed, it's 6.12. But depends on your situation.
Correct.
It can be 5.0.
It's 6.12 with APR. That's why.
Is it true first-time home buyers will get 30,000 down payment assistance? No. Okay.
That's something that they are.
That was the loan,
correct.
the EIDL time.
That has not been
COVID time.
No. That's something they have on the plate right now.
It's not passed yet.
It has not passed yet.
It's a proposal.
It's a proposal.
Okay.
It's all about politics.
It's an appropriation. So
that's
we don't
right.
know. Okay. We have somebody. Let's take another call. কে আছেন আমাদের সাথে?
জি, আসসালামু আলাইকুম হাবিব ভাই।
ওয়ালাইকুম সালাম, বলুন।
আমার প্রশ্ন হচ্ছে আমি একটা ইনভেস্টমেন্ট প্রপার্টি কিনতে চাচ্ছি 20% ডাউন পেমেন্ট দিয়ে কনভেনশনাল লোন, বাট আমি সমস্ত টাকা দেব গিফট, আমি কি তা কিনতে পারবো এইভাবে?
গিফট নিয়ে, রাইট?
হ্যাঁ,
ওকে, ইয়া
20% দেব।
Yeah, 20% down. You understood the
of course. You're looking to do the 20% as a gift.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It can be done.
Yes. The answer is আপনার উত্তর হচ্ছে yes, no problem. But make sure আপনার paperwork ঠিক থাকে যাতে. Okay. Closing cost. Very quickly, we got 2 minutes.
This is basically everything we spoke about. Okay? Look, let's talk about closing costs. Who has control over these costs? Okay? Title fees are your lawyer that you hire to run title. Has nothing to do with the mortgage broker, real estate broker, has nothing to do with anybody else but your lawyer. Okay? That's it.
Of course.
Simple, right? Your government fees. No one else but the government, right?
Yeah.
Easy stuff,
Those are
right?
fees.
Your escrows are iffy.
Your escrows,
right? It is your money. Don't think of that as a cost. It is definitely your money. You're putting money away so the bank has enough money to pay the taxes when they come due. It's your money. Don't worry about it. You think it's too high. It doesn't matter. At the end of the year, if it's too high, you will get it back. It's a law. Every year it's called escrow analysis. If there's extra money in there, they will give it back to you. So don't worry about that. What can the mortgage broker control? The origination fees.
Yeah.
And that's everything. Okay?
And usually
that's the point. It shouldn't be, that's what I'm saying to you. You shouldn't be paying points, right? So it should be $1,000.
That's it.
Just stop there.
So ideally, if you were buying just, $600,000 a house, what would your closing costs look like, generally speaking?
Depends where we're buying.
First-time home buyer, primary residence.
Yeah, but the problem is the escrows.
Yes.
That's your problem. Depends where the property taxes are.
Okay, so I'm going to leave that for next episode.
Okay.
I'm going to also leave how to fix this issue if your loan officer, your mortgage broker start dancing with you. We'll have those answers in the next episode. How to spot it, how to fix it, and what's your right. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Okay. Mike, I have to say good night to you because we are at the end. So there are many questions unanswered. There's one quick question I want you to answer. What is the refinancing rate? It's the same rate.
It's very similar to what you are doing purchasing. That's not going to change.
Right. So Hossein Topu, I hope we answered your questions. দর্শক, আমরা কথা বলতে বলতে অনুষ্ঠানের শেষ পর্যায়ে চলে এসেছি। অত্যন্ত গুরুত্বপূর্ণভাবে এই অনুষ্ঠানটি সাজানো। পরবর্তী অনুষ্ঠানে চোখ রাখবেন, যেটি আমি মাইকেল মোতাজিদির সাথে করবো। I'm going to do the next episode যেখানে আমরা বলবো আপনি কিভাবে জানবেন যে আপনার মর্গেজ ব্রোকার হি ইজ নট অনেস্ট উইথ ইউ, হাউ ডু ইউ নো ইউর লোন অফিসার ইজ নট অনেস্ট উইথ ইউ, অ্যান্ড হাউ কিভাবে আপনি এই সমস্যার সমাধান করতে পারবেন। চোখ রাখবেন টিভিএনের পর্দায়। দেখা হবে পরবর্তী অনুষ্ঠানে। শুভরাত্রি।
TBN 24 টেলিভিশন দেখতে আজই কল করুন 7187776556। লগ ইন করুন www.totalcablebd.com।
নিউ ইয়র্ক থেকে সম্প্রচারিত TBN 24 টেলিভিশন বিশ্বজুড়ে বাঙালির কণ্ঠস্বর।